My concern is making sure, I'm taking care of myself, but I can't take care of myself without this step coming through.
Now at 5, the struggles to get a hold of any unemployment assistance. We talked to one of our senators to ensure people are able to access the money they need.
The state is preparing for a surge in COVID-19, and that means protecting Hoosier children. I'm Kara Kenny with the plan in the works and what you can do to help your own family.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Thank you for joining us on the News at 5. I'm Amanda Starantino at the WRTV6 studio.
And I'm Mark Mullins, making our way through another week of social distancing and coming to you from a temporary studio in my home. We want to get right to the day's developments in the spread of coronavirus in Indiana. 37 more Hoosiers have died, according to the state health department. That makes 387 deaths statewide. 313 additional Hoosiers have tested positive for a total of just more than 8,500. Those in the older age groups continue to account for the majority of the deaths. People aged 60 and older add up to 88% of the deaths. No one under the age of 30 has died from this virus in our state. The state is now also updating us about the availability of ventilators around the state. As we've heard elsewhere, there's been a great need, but Indiana appears to be in good shape right now. Nearly 75% of the ventilators are available. Roughly 15% are in use for COVID-19 patients and about 11% for non-COVID-19 patients. As a record number of Hoosiers apply for unemployment, we're looking into what the state is doing to keep up and how the new systems and procedures are working to keep Hoosiers employed. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum is at the State House tonight with the latest.
We just got an update from state leaders. They say they are doing everything they can to keep up with a record number of new filings. It's a topic we've been following since this pandemic started. We've told you how the Department of Workforce Development is adding more employees, reassigning others to help with new claims, and working with a third party to keep up. The record number of people reaching out and filing for unemployment has caused some issues with the system, as it was never built to handle a volume like this. Today, Commissioner Fred Payne addressed those issues.
Last week, we reported we did have a few hiccups on call transfers. So as the week went on, we had fewer calls that were transferred, and the people at our call center were able to handle those with just some routine questions, and fewer people were dropped. So we're looking at the different metrics this week.
He says they will continue to review their process and any new issues that may arise. If you are experiencing unemployment, we have a lot of resources for you on our website, including information about how to file and job opportunities available right now. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And people are still struggling to get unemployment assistance, and that includes loans for small businesses who want to stay in business and keep Hoosiers working. RTV6's Stephanie Wade gets answers from one of Indiana's senators who is working to ensure people are able to access the money they need.
Well, it's aggravating because I feel like I've done everything on my part as far as where the unemployment benefits are concerned. And not being able to get a hold of anybody, to talk to anybody, it's just even hear, hey, you know what? We got your stuff. Everything's fine. We're extremely backed up. It's coming. Whatever the case may be, just anything to ease like any of my fears.
Patrick Terwilliger, like thousands of other Americans, was laid off. He immediately applied for unemployment 3 weeks ago, but says he is yet to receive any benefits. He calls the Department of Workforce Development daily to get answers, but finds himself waiting for hours on hold.
I know their office is overwhelmed, and I know they're probably trying to do their best, but it does not feel like it's their best.
The same goes for small businesses reaching out to RTV6 regularly, claiming some banks aren't even processing their SBA loans.
Our banks and credit unions were understandably apprehensive early on to participate fully in this program because there wasn't complete guidance offered by the Small Business Administration because of the very rapid rollout. But that guidance has been clarified.
Senator Todd Young tells me he had a conference call with the Indiana Bankers Association and heads of all of the major banks across the state Monday. He says they hesitated in the beginning of the crisis, but says they're all on board now, and Hoosiers and small businesses should start to see those checks coming soon. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And Senator Young wants you to know he has a toolkit with resources for small businesses on the Senate on his Senate website. Now, Putnam County restaurant owners tell RTV6 it's week 5 of just trying to keep their small business afloat. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you to explain what the couple has done so far to try to make it through the pandemic and keep their workers on the job.
This is your quintessential Cheers of Greencastle, where everybody knows your name, everybody comes in and hangs out, has a beer or a drink.
Business was booming at Moore's Bar and Restaurant.
75% of our business was beer, wine, and liquor. People coming into the bar.
That's until March 16th, when Governor Holcomb ordered restaurants and bars to close because of COVID-19.
We have employees we had to lay off, 5 of them.
Right away, Julie and Pete Meyer went into preservation mode. They reached out to the Small Business Association and applied for loans and grants. They even filled out an insurance claim.
Our insurance claims are denied because the COVID-19 doesn't fall within their language.
Bringing them back to square one of waiting to hear back from the SBA.
We've had our credit checked twice.
Yeah.
But we've never been approved.
Received 3 separate notifications since then from the SBA that we're under review. And, submit more, so we do.
Leaving them in between a rock and a hard place.
We're just in limbo.
They haven't been denied, but it's hard to play the waiting game while so much needs to be handled. RTV6 is told it can take up to 90 days from the initial application to release of funds. And the timeline depends on the size of the loan and other factors like purpose of the loan and experience of the lender. In the meantime, the couple is relying on large takeout orders to make ends meet.
We deliver it. We'll do anything we have to do to make it happen.
Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
And the Meyers have been able to keep their employees on staff and want to bring back the other 5 if they get the loan. And you can find information about support for small businesses plus unemployment benefits and companies that are hiring right now at hiringhoosiers.com.
The state's Department of Child Services is getting ready for a surge of COVID-19 cases. As more and more parents get sick from the virus, they're expecting children will be left with no one to take care of them. RTV6's Kara Kenny explains how they're getting ready and what you can do to help.
More than 20,000 Hoosier children are in foster care because of suspected child abuse and neglect. But even more children could end up in the state's child welfare system because of COVID-19. Dave Hancock has been an Indiana foster parent for 6 years. He and his wife have 2 boys, ages 1 and 3. They're just one of thousands of foster families contacted by the Indiana Department of Child Services to find out if they could take a child who's been in contact with COVID-19 or who is COVID-19 positive. Dave had to say no because his wife has asthma and one of their foster sons has a heart condition.
It was hard to say no that we couldn't accept a child with that when we strive to have an open and loving home, but you can't take care of other people if you can't take care of yourselves. I think it's Indiana preparing for a possible surge, and it's also Indiana preparing for the inevitable that comes with this sort of situation.
Private agencies like the Villages are also working to increase our state's capacity to help displaced children. The Villages is doing training and informational sessions via Zoom for people interested in fostering. DCS released a statement to RTV6. To ensure the safety of Hoosier children, DCS needs to understand the capability of the foster parent community to house children who potentially have been exposed to the virus. We want to have meaningful conversations with foster parents about their own risk factors and give everyone the opportunity to discuss as a family what is best for them. DCS says it's also a good idea to have a plan in place for who will care for your children if you get sick with COVID-19. Share it with others and keep that list on you. Reporting in Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Kara, thank you. If you're interested in becoming a foster parent or need more tips on creating a safety plan for your family, go to this story on the RTV6 app or on the IndyChannel.com.
Tonight, preparations continue for Thursday's funeral for IMPD officer LisaLeith, shot and killed in the line of duty last Thursday. Her patrol car is now on display at IMPD East District, and you are invited to drive by and honor her service. This is on Shaylin Avenue near East Washington Street. You are asked to stay in your car due to the pandemic. Today, with the car as his backdrop, East District Commander Richard Riddle, who knew Officer Leith very well, shared some of his thoughts about the young officer.
Big smile, big, beautiful smile. Very, very caring person, cared about the community and did whatever she could to make people feel better and to go out of her way to help people when they're in need and to worry about their health and comfort as well.
Another beautiful tribute to Officer Leith on the IPL building on Monument Circle last night. The building was illuminated with her image. There will be another visual salute tonight and every night from dusk to dawn through Friday morning. Officer Leith's funeral is Thursday at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is not open to the public due to the pandemic. You can watch the service live on RTV6. And the man accused of killing Officer Leith is now formally charged with her murder. The Marion County prosecutor made the announcement today about Elias Dorsey. He's also facing 3 counts of attempted murder for allegedly firing at the 3 other officers who were with Officer Leith responding to the domestic violence call at an East Side apartment, and another count of attempted murder of the woman who had been inside the apartment with him.
Still ahead on RTV6 News at 5, the businessman who says his phone won't stop ringing because so many people are at home right now. The company open and ready to take your call. And it's Takeout Tuesday. Doesn't soup sound good on a day like today? Yeah, it sure does. The new restaurant in the Bates Hendricks neighborhood that could really use your support.
And that soup warms you up from the inside. Only 45 today to go with our cold temperatures. Maybe some Wednesday snow. We'll talk about that and another opportunity for snow coming up.
Visit Regions.com/refi.
While some businesses have come to a screeching halt amid the coronavirus stay-at-home order, others are ramping up their services because of the circumstances. We're Open Indy is our way to focus on those businesses still open to serve you. RTV6's Alyssa Donovan spoke to a local business owner who says their phones won't stop ringing.
People on the front lines of the COVID-19 outbreak are working quite a bit these days. And there are some other essential workers that are also putting in extra hours. Since the stay-at-home order, plumbers are doing a lot more emergency calls.
That if we don't get to these calls today, they are either going to not be able to use a kitchen sink or not be able to flush a toilet or not take a hot shower.
Jack Hope, owner of Hope Plumbing, says his crews are running to twice as many calls since the stay-at-home order went into place.
We have way more emergency calls, a whole lot of clogged drains, just because people are home and they're using their systems way more than they're used to. They're maxing out capacities. They're turning water on and off. The kids are turning water on and off.
Normally, around 40 to 50% of the calls they receive are considered emergency. But now, Hope says 90% of the calls for technicians are emergent. And with all of the running around, crews are taking precautions to keep themselves and customers safe.
Putting on gloves and then washing and wiping down areas as we move through the house.
And since Hope Plumbing is one of the businesses that doesn't have to worry about their bottom line during the stay-at-home order, they are trying to encourage people to patron other small businesses, like restaurants.
We've got a running coupon right now where if you purchase food from a local restaurant, we will take your receipt and use it as a coupon towards our services. So if you go to like Yukio, for example, and buy $40 worth of carryout, you can just show us that receipt and we'll give you $40 off your invoice.
Hope says there are a few pieces of advice that he wants to give people at this time to hopefully avoid making that emergency phone call to either him or another plumber in the area. One of those pieces of advice, keep an eye on the kids. Make sure they're not putting anything down the drain that shouldn't be down there. And know where your water shutoff valve is. In case there is a problem, you can turn it off yourself and prevent major damage. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Well, here's another business still serving the community during the coronavirus outbreak. Even though they aren't able to play in school bands right now, Paiges Music on the northeast side of Indy is still helping students stay in tune. The music store near 65th and Binford Boulevard is offering contact-free curbside service for instrument repair and supplies. And if your band student needs supplies for their horn or their string or percussion instrument, Paiges is providing free shipping to those supplies during the pandemic. The company's president says it's especially important to get your student to keep practicing while they're stuck at home.
And it's something I keep impressing on my son. He's a tenor player, is you got to keep practicing because you want to make the top band next year. And if you sit around for the next, at this point now, 5 months and don't pick up your horn, you're not going to make the top band because there's other kids out there that are playing.
Paiges Music supplies rental instruments for most of the school band programs in central Indiana. McQuarrie says that they will be open Monday through Saturday, and they also plan to run a limited pickup and delivery schedule to some schools. You can find out more at their website, paigesmusic.com.
If you haven't made dinner plans, how about takeout? It is Takeout Tuesday and your opportunity to patronize restaurants still working hard to make a go of it and stay open to serve you. Today we put the focus on the eatery in the Bates-Hendricks neighborhood just south of downtown Indianapolis. 1718, the Bates-Hendricks House Bar has only been open a few months but has already become a popular spot. The house, built in the 1900s, has been converted into a bar and restaurant. The menu is abbreviated right now, but you'll still find handcrafted sandwiches and soups to try. They're open for curbside pickup Tuesday through Saturday from 2:30 to 8. They are located at 1718 Southeast Street. And not open yet, but Dawson's on Main and Speedway is getting ready to say we're open Indy starting tomorrow. The restaurant will reopen for carryout and curbside service tomorrow at 11 a.m. It will offer limited lunch and dinner menus Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Dawson's has been temporarily closed due to the virus, but will reopen tomorrow at 1464 Main Street in Speedway. And we have a growing list of all kinds of businesses that are open to serve you. Check out our website, theindychannel.com. You can help save some jobs.
Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. A great day to be inside at home like Kevin and me. Pretty chilly out there, and we're in for more of the same tonight. Another freeze warning, you're saying, Kevin?
Well, yes. The only thing I can do, Mark, is give you a warm greeting. Hello. Temperatures over the next, a warm hello. Temperatures will hit rock bottom on Friday. Just so you know, I was writing this down. 79 is our warmest high temperature this month. We just had our coldest high temperature this afternoon at 45. Temperatures are coldest Friday, then we start to recover as we move toward the weekend. You got to trust me, I'm in that coat. I did some mowing today with gloves on and a heavy winter coat and a hat. Our temps tumble back into the 20s tonight. That's why, as Mark mentioned, we have our freeze warning. Snow possible tomorrow, actually likely north of Indy, and snow potential again Friday. And I think accumulating snow potential. I can add that word to it. See all that in a second. There are your very cool temperatures. We should be at 63, so just about 20 degrees below average everywhere. 43 in Kokomo, 47 in Bloomington, if we want to call that our warm spot. Let me hit you with the temperatures by 10 o'clock tonight as the sky begins to clear. We'll be down to 38. We had wind gusts in the upper 30s today, but as the wind calms and the sky clears, temperatures in that 28 to 30 degree temperature range. Now, can I have your undivided attention? See the blue? That represents some snow in the morning. Lafayette, Peru, on the Huntington and Fort Wayne. That drops to the south, mixing with rain at times in central Indiana. If we see accumulation, that would mainly be on grassy surfaces. Just the sight of snow this late in April is a little bit alarming, I'll grant you that. We do average a little measurable snow during the month. Last April, we had 2 inches, but it was at the very beginning of the month. Tomorrow, noon to about 3 or 4, a mixture of rain and snow in the metro area. The wind tomorrow, a cold wind, because temperatures will struggle just to make it out of the mid-40s. There are your high temperatures from north to south. Want to show this to you very quickly. This is Thursday night into Friday morning. There's your snow. Where that band actually sets up will have a little influence on the accumulating snow. But again, with temperatures above the freezing mark, I think we'll end up okay on roadways. Nothing sticks around too long this time of year. 54. That's kind of our breakout temperature on Saturday, Mark. Then we're up to 61 as we get to Sunday. So when we look at this side of the forecast, I can truly give you a warm greeting.
Well, I think a lot of people are ready for it to be springtime, Kevin. I think people are ready for a little bit warmer temperatures there. So thank you.
Agree with that.
Well, these days, parades may look a little different, but the spirit's the same. Still ahead, the story behind these police canines working together.
And Keller, right now.
Working together to keep connections strong despite having to stay physically apart. RTV6 has a new initiative sparked by the stay-at-home order called Working Together, where we focus on stories like this. Today, human and canine police officers from across central Indiana came together to create a parade for 10-year-old Caleb Anderson of McCordsville. Caleb suffers from an immune disorder, so getting a visit like this really meant a lot to his whole family.
It's just overwhelming. I mean, like, we're not going to be able to wipe the smile off his face, you know? I mean, it's just the moments that he needs and that we've missed with not being able to go out and train with them and hang with their canine.
If you know of something like this happening in your community where people are working together to move forward and support each other right now, send us a message at workingforyou@rtv6.com. All new at 6 p.m., drive-through COVID-19 testing will expand to include more people. We'll show you if you will be eligible.